What happens when one of the most famous figures in the world walks onto a daytime talk show and completely loses control? In just 34 seconds, a simple question turned into the most shocking meltdown in television history. This is the story of how Prince Harry got kicked off Jennifer Hudson Show after a heated altercation that left everyone in the studio absolutely speechless. Jennifer Hudson's talk show had become known for its warm, welcoming atmosphere. Celebrities would come on, share stories, laugh, and connect with audiences in a way that felt genuine and real. Jennifer had built her reputation on being kind, thoughtful, and respectful to every single guest who sat on her couch. But on this particular day, something was about to go terribly, terribly wrong. Prince Harry was scheduled to appear on the show to talk about his latest charitable initiatives. The audience was excited. The producers were thrilled. Jennifer was prepared with thoughtful questions designed to let Harry shine and share his message with the world. Everything seemed perfect. The cameras started rolling. The audience applauded. Jennifer welcomed Harry to the stage with her signature warm smile. "Welcome, welcome. It's so wonderful to have you here," Jennifer said as Harry took his seat. The audience clapped enthusiastically. Harry smiled and waved, settling into the chair across from Jennifer. "Thanks for having me," Harry replied. His tone was polite, but something seemed a little off. There was a tension in his voice that the audience couldn't quite place yet. Jennifer started with an easy question. "So, I want to talk about the incredible work you've been doing. Can you tell us about your latest project and what inspired you to get involved?" Harry shifted in his seat. "Well, Jennifer, I think the real question is why more people aren't doing what I'm doing. I've dedicated my entire life to service, and it feels like nobody really appreciates the sacrifices I've made." Jennifer's smile faltered slightly, but she recovered quickly. She was a professional. "I think a lot of people do appreciate your work. That's why you're here today, to share it with millions of viewers." "Millions of viewers?" Harry repeated, his voice dripping with sarcasm. "Right. And how many of them actually do anything? How many of them actually care? They just sit at home, watching television, judging people they don't even know." The audience went quiet. This wasn't the friendly conversation they were expecting. Jennifer's expression changed. She was still smiling, but now it was the smile of someone trying to keep things together. "I think our viewers care deeply," Jennifer said carefully. "That's why they tune in. They want to learn, to be inspired, to understand how they can make a difference too." Harry laughed, but it wasn't a friendly laugh. "Inspired? By what? By me sitting here talking? That's not inspiration. That's entertainment. There's a difference, Jennifer." Jennifer took a breath. She was trying to redirect the conversation. "Well, let's talk about the specific initiative you're working on right now. I know you've been focusing on mental health awareness. Can you tell us more about that?" "Mental health?" Harry said, leaning forward. "You want to talk about mental health? Let's talk about how the media destroys people's mental health. Let's talk about how shows like this one profit off people's pain and trauma." The audience gasped. Jennifer's eyes widened. "I'm sorry, shows like this one? This is a talk show where we have conversations. We're not exploiting anyone." "Aren't you, though?" Harry challenged. "Every question you ask is designed to get me to reveal something personal, something vulnerable, something you can turn into a headline. That's what this is really about." Jennifer shook her head. "That's not true at all. I prepared these questions with respect and care. I wanted to give you a platform to share your message, to talk about the causes you believe in. That's what we do here." "A platform?" Harry's voice was rising now. "I don't need a platform from you. I had a platform. I was born with a platform. I gave up everything for my principles, and now I have to come on shows like this to be interrogated?" "Interrogated?" Jennifer's patience was starting to wear thin. The kindness in her voice was being replaced with something firmer. "I asked you one question about your charity work. That's not an interrogation. That's called an interview." Harry stood up suddenly, startling everyone in the studio. "This is exactly what I'm talking about. Nobody understands. Nobody gets it. I came here in good faith, and already I'm being attacked." Jennifer remained seated, her composure impressive given the situation. "Sir, please sit down. Nobody is attacking you. I asked you about your charity. That's literally why you're here." "Don't tell me what to do," Harry snapped. "You don't get to tell me what to do. Do you have any idea who I am? Do you have any idea what I've been through?" The audience was completely silent now. Some people looked uncomfortable. Others looked shocked. Jennifer's producers were frantically talking into their headsets from the side of the stage. Jennifer stood up now too, matching Harry's energy but staying calm. I know exactly who you are, and I invited you here with nothing but respect. But you've been hostile since the moment you sat down. I don't know what's going on with you today, but this is not okay. Not okay? Harry's face was red now. You want to talk about what's not okay? What's not okay is being constantly judged, constantly criticized, constantly misunderstood by people who have no idea what it's like to live my life. Nobody here is judging you, Jennifer said firmly. But you came onto my show, in front of my audience, and you've been nothing but disrespectful to me, to them, to everyone who works here. That's what's not okay, Harry pointed his finger at Jennifer. You're just like everyone else. You pretend to be nice, but really you just want to tear people down. You want to make yourself look good by making me look bad. Jennifer's expression hardened. I have been nothing but professional. I welcomed you with kindness. I asked you a simple question about your charity, and you turned it into this. You did this, not me. I'm done with this, Harry said, throwing his hands up. I'm done with all of it. The fake concern, the pretend empathy, the manufactured compassion. It's all garbage. Jennifer crossed her arms. Then why did you agree to come on the show? Harry didn't have an answer for that. He just stared at her, his chest heaving with anger. Let me ask you something. Jennifer continued, do you talk to everyone like this? Or is it just the people who are trying to help you share your message? Help me? Harry laughed again, that same bitter laugh. You're not helping me. You're using me. Just like everyone else uses me. My whole life. People have used me for their own benefit. Jennifer shook her head slowly. That's really sad if that's how you see the world. But I can promise you, that's not what's happening here. I genuinely wanted to have a good conversation with you. I wanted our audience to hear about the important work you're doing. But instead, you came here with anger and resentment, and you've taken it out on everyone in this room. I have every right to be angry, Harry shot back. Do you know what I've sacrificed? Do you know what I've given up? I'm sure you've sacrificed a lot, Jennifer said. But that doesn't give you the right to be cruel to people who have done nothing wrong to you. Everyone has struggles. Everyone has pain. That doesn't mean we get to treat others badly. Harry's jaw clenched. So now you're lecturing me? That's rich. Really rich. I'm not lecturing you, Jennifer replied. I'm trying to understand why you're behaving this way. We're 8 minutes into this interview, and you haven't said one kind word to anyone. Not to me, not to the audience, not to anyone. Maybe I don't feel like being kind, Harry said coldly. Maybe I'm tired of always having to perform, always having to smile, always having to pretend everything is fine when it's not. Jennifer softened slightly. Then talk about that. That's real. That's honest. That's something people can relate to. But attacking me and insulting everyone here, that's not being honest. That's just being mean. Mean? Harry scoffed. You think I'm being mean? You have no idea what mean is. Mean is having your entire life dissected by strangers. Mean is having every choice you make criticized and analyzed. Mean is never being able to just be a normal person. You're right, Jennifer said. I don't know what that's like. But I do know what it's like to be treated with disrespect. And that's what you're doing right now. And I don't deserve it. This audience doesn't deserve it. My team doesn't deserve it. Harry was breathing hard, his fists clenched at his sides. I think this was a mistake. Coming here was a mistake. Maybe it was, Jennifer agreed. But it didn't have to be. It could have been a great conversation. It could have been an opportunity to really connect with people, but you sabotaged it before it even began. I sabotaged it? Harry's voice was loud now. You're the one who's been putting words in my mouth, twisting everything I say. Jennifer remained calm. I haven't twisted anything. Everyone here heard exactly what you said. The cameras recorded everything. You walked in here with an attitude, and you've been hostile and aggressive from the very first moment. That's your interpretation, Harry argued. It's not an interpretation, Jennifer countered. It's a fact. You literally said my show profits off people's pain. You said I'm using you. You've insulted the audience. Those are things you actually said, not things I made up. Harry opened his mouth to respond, but then closed it again. He looked around the studio, at the silent audience, at the cameras, at the crew members, standing frozen with shock. Jennifer continued, her voice steady but firm. I've been doing this show for years. I have interviewed hundreds of people, and I have always treated my guests with respect and dignity. I have never had someone come on here and behave the way you're behaving right now. Well, congratulations, Harry said sarcastically. I'm special. This isn't a joke, Jennifer said. You're on national television acting like a child. Is this how you want people to see you? Is this the example you want to set? Don't talk to me about setting examples, Harry snapped. I've spent my entire life trying to set a good example, trying to do the right thing. And where has it gotten me? Nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. Jennifer sighed. I'm sorry you feel that way. I really am. But taking your frustrations out on innocent people isn't going to make you feel better. It's not going to solve your problems. You don't know anything about my problems, Harry said through gritted teeth. You're right, I don't, Jennifer admitted. And I was trying to give you a chance to talk about them, to share your perspective, to let people understand you better. But instead of taking that opportunity, you decided to attack me. Harry laughed bitterly. Everything is always someone else's fault with you people, isn't it? I'm the bad guy. I'm the problem. Never mind what I've been through. Never mind what I've endured. Jennifer's patience was clearly running out. Nobody is saying you're the bad guy, but you are being difficult and you are being disrespectful, and that is a problem. A big problem. Then maybe I should just leave, Harry said, taking a step toward the edge of the stage. Maybe you should, Jennifer replied quietly. The audience gasped at her words. It was clear she had reached her limit. Harry stopped and turned back to face her. What did you just say? I said maybe you should leave, Jennifer repeated, her voice stronger now. Because this isn't working. You don't want to be here. You've made that very clear. And honestly, I don't want you here anymore either. Not if you're going to continue treating everyone like this. Harry's eyes widened. You're kicking me off your show? You're kicking yourself off. Jennifer corrected. You came here with an agenda to be angry and confrontational. You haven't given this conversation a chance. You haven't given me a chance. You haven't given the audience a chance. So yes, I think it's best if you leave. Unbelievable, Harry muttered. Absolutely unbelievable. What's unbelievable is your behavior, Jennifer said. I extended an invitation to you in good faith. I prepared thoughtful questions. I created a safe, welcoming space for you to share your story, and you threw it all back in my face. Harry's face was bright red now. I don't have to stand here and listen to this. No, you don't, Jennifer agreed. The door is right there. You're free to go anytime you want. The studio was dead silent. Every eye was on Harry, waiting to see what he would do next. His hands were shaking. His jaw was clenched so tight it looked painful. You're making a huge mistake, Harry said, his voice low and threatening. The only mistake I made was thinking this would be a positive experience, Jennifer replied. I thought we could have a real conversation. I thought you would be gracious and open. I was wrong. You'll regret this, Harry said. Jennifer shook her head. No, I won't. I will never regret standing up for myself and my team. I will never regret refusing to be treated poorly in my own space. You can threaten me all you want, but it doesn't change anything. Harry looked like he wanted to say more, but no words came out. He stood there, trembling with rage, his face contorted with anger. Security. Jennifer called out, her voice clear and commanding. Please escort our guest out of the building. 2 security guards appeared from the side of the stage. They approached Harry carefully, professionally. Don't touch me, Harry warned them. Don't you dare touch me. Sir, we need you to come with us, one of the security guards said calmly. I'm leaving, Harry said. I'm leaving on my own. I don't need your help. Then please leave, the security guard replied. Harry turned back to Jennifer one last time. You just made the biggest mistake of your career. Jennifer looked him directly in the eyes. No, you did. You had a chance to be gracious, to be humble, to be real. Instead, you chose to be entitled and mean. That's on you, not me. Harry started walking toward the exit, the security guards following closely behind him. The audience watched in stunned silence as he made his way through the studio. His footsteps echoed in the quiet space. Just before he reached the door, Harry turned around one more time. You people have no idea what it's like. None of you do. Jennifer remained standing on the stage, her posture straight, her expression composed. Maybe not, but we know what respect looks like. And we know what disrespect looks like too. And what we just witnessed was complete and total disrespect. Harry didn't respond. He pushed through the door and disappeared from view. The security guards followed him out. For a moment, nobody moved. Nobody spoke. The silence was deafening. Then Jennifer turned to her audience. I'm so sorry you had to witness that. That is not what this show is about. That is not who we are. We are a show built on kindness, respect, and genuine conversation. What just happened here was the complete opposite of our values. The audience began to applaud, slowly at first, then louder and louder. They were applauding Jennifer for standing her ground, for refusing to be treated badly, for maintaining her dignity in an impossible situation. Jennifer smiled, but there were tears in her eyes. Thank you. Thank you for understanding. This has been one of the most difficult moments of my career, but I want you to know that I will always stand up for what's right. I will always treat people with respect, and I will always expect to be treated with respect in return. The applause continued. People were standing now, giving Jennifer a standing ovation. She wiped her eyes, clearly emotional. I think we need to take a break, Jennifer said, her voice cracking slightly. We'll be right back. The cameras cut away, but the damage was done. In less than 15 minutes, what should have been a pleasant interview had turned into one of the most shocking confrontations in talk show history. Jennifer Hudson, known for her warmth and kindness, had been forced to kick a guest off her show for the first time ever. As the commercial break played, Jennifer sat back down in her chair, her hands shaking. Her producers rushed over to check on her. The audience was buzzing with conversation, everyone trying to process what they had just witnessed. Are you okay? One of the producers asked Jennifer. Jennifer nodded slowly. I think so. I just can't believe that happened. I've never had to do that before, ever. You handled it perfectly. The producer assured her. You gave him every chance to turn it around, and he just kept pushing. You had no choice. I know, Jennifer said quietly, but it still feels awful. I never want anyone to leave my show like that. I always want it to be a positive experience. It's not your fault, another producer chimed in. He came in with an attitude. There was nothing you could have done differently. Jennifer took a deep breath. I just hope people understand. I hope they see that I tried. I really tried to make it work. They will, the producer promised. Everyone saw what happened. They saw him being hostile and disrespectful. They saw you being patient and professional. There's no question about who was in the wrong. The commercial break ended, and Jennifer had to compose herself to continue the show. She took another deep breath, straightened her posture, and put on a brave smile as the cameras came back on. Welcome back, she said to the audience. Obviously, this has been a very unusual day on our show. I want to take a moment to talk about what just happened, because I think it's important. The audience was completely focused on her, hanging on every word. When we invite someone onto this show, we do it with open hearts. Jennifer continued, we want to create a space where people feel comfortable sharing their stories, their passions, their struggles. We want to have real, meaningful conversations that inspire and uplift our viewers. She paused, collecting her thoughts. But that can only happen when there's mutual respect. It can only happen when both people are willing to engage in good faith. What you saw today was someone who came here with anger and hostility, and no matter how hard I tried to redirect the conversation, it just kept getting worse. The audience nodded in understanding. Some people were wiping their own eyes, moved by Jennifer's honesty and vulnerability. I have never kicked anyone off this show before, Jennifer said. I never thought I would have to, but I also never thought someone would come on here and treat us the way we were treated today. And I want you all to know that while I believe in kindness and grace, I also believe in boundaries. I believe in standing up for yourself and for the people around you. More applause erupted from the audience. Jennifer smiled through her tears. So yes, I asked that guest to leave. And I would do it again, because this show is a place of respect. It's a place of love. It's a place where everyone, from the biggest celebrity to the crew members behind the cameras, deserves to be treated with dignity. And I will always protect that, no matter what. The standing ovation came again, even louder this time. Jennifer stood and bowed slightly to the audience, clearly moved by their support. Thank you all so much, she said. Your support means everything to me. And to everyone watching at home, I hope you understand why I made the decision I made. I hope you see that sometimes standing up for yourself is the kindest thing you can do. As the show continued, Jennifer somehow managed to regain her composure and carry on with her remaining segments. But the energy in the studio had changed. There was a heaviness in the air, a collective sense of shock and disbelief about what had transpired. Backstage, the crew was still talking about the incident. Everyone was sharing their perspective on what had happened, trying to make sense of the bizarre confrontation. I've been working in television for 20 years, one cameraman said. I have never seen anything like that. Never. Did you see his face? A makeup artist added. He was so angry, like irrationally angry. Over nothing. Jennifer handled it like a pro, though, the stage manager observed. She stayed calm. She stood her ground. She didn't let him push her around. I'm really proud of her. Everyone agreed. Despite the chaos and confusion, there was unanimous support for Jennifer and her decision to remove the hostile guests from her show. In her dressing room after the show, Jennifer finally let herself fully process what had happened. She sat on her couch, still in her show outfit, her head in her hands. What a day, she whispered to herself. What an absolutely crazy day. Her best friend and confidant, who had been watching from the green room, came in and sat beside her. You okay? Jennifer looked up. Honestly, I don't know. Part of me feels justified, like I did the right thing, but another part of me feels terrible. I never want to make anyone feel unwelcome. He made himself unwelcome, her friend pointed out. From the very first answer, he was combative. You gave him so many chances to turn it around. I know, Jennifer sighed. But still, it's not a good feeling. Of course it's not, her friend agreed. Because you're a good person. A good person doesn't feel great about having to kick someone off their show, but that doesn't mean it wasn't necessary. Sometimes the right thing to do is also the hard thing to do. Jennifer nodded slowly. I just keep replaying it in my head, wondering if there was something different I could have said, some way I could have de-escalated it. Stop, her friend said firmly. You tried everything. You were patient, you were kind, you tried to redirect, you tried to understand. He didn't want any of that. He wanted to be angry. And there's nothing you could have done to change that. You're probably right, Jennifer admitted. I know I'm right, her friend insisted. And so does everyone else. The audience was on your side. Your team is on your side. The whole world is going to be on your side when they see what happened. Jennifer managed a small smile. Thanks. I needed to hear that. Anytime, her friend said, giving her a hug. Now come on, let's get you out of here. You've had enough drama for one day. As Jennifer left the studio that evening, she couldn't help but think about how quickly things had spiraled out of control. One moment, she was welcoming a guest with warmth and excitement. The next moment, she was watching security escort that same guest out of the building. It was a reminder that no matter how much you prepare, no matter how professional you are, sometimes things just go wrong. Sometimes people come into your space with their own issues, their own anger, their own pain, and there's nothing you can do to fix it. But what you can do is stand up for yourself. You can set boundaries. You can refuse to be treated poorly. And that's exactly what Jennifer Hudson did on this shocking, dramatic, unforgettable day.